Charlie Kirk is on my mind. His tragic shooting has left many people upset. Some are angry, some are distraught, and some are simply disturbed. I did not follow Mr. Kirk. I don't know what his commentary contained. I know little about him other than what I read after the fact of his tragic death. So I fall in the disturbed category. But this has become a frequent disturbance, don't you know? I am disturbed as well by recent school shootings, the shooting of a state representative and her spouse, the shooting of President Trump that was luckily unsuccessful. My being disturbed seems too common, and yet it is what it is in this postmodern culture of ours. My primary thought at this point, in this most recent episode of an ongoing string of disturbing tragedies, is a reflection on Jesse James. I grew up in a family that tended to cling to border state folk tales and songs of our American past. My father was from Middle Indiana. His family were Union supporters by way of West by God, Virginia. My mother was from the Ozarks of Arkansas. At my mother's home in B Branch, I learned about carpetbaggers, Northerners who came to the South after the Civil War to pillage and profit, and jayhawkers, Free Staters from Bleeding, Kansas, who murdered one or more members of families in the area down where the moss grows red in the creek behind my mother's family's house. At my father's home, I learned about how my great-grandfather fought on the Union Army side in the Shenandoah Campaign of Western Virginia for 3 long years, starting as a private and finishing as a first lieutenant before returning home to own a store and preach as a Methodist minister. I learned about how my grandfather traveled in an ambulance to evade Union thugs bent on killing him for hiring scabs. And I learned how my father fought in World War II and Korea, starting as a private and retiring as a lieutenant colonel. The end result of this Middle American heritage was that Jesse James and his brother Frank were heroes to many who I grew up around, because that's just the way it was. Needless to say, to all those folks, and to me, Jesse James was killed by a coward. That dirty little coward who shot Mr. Howard and laid poor Jesse in his grave. Now, I don't think Charlie Kirk was Jesse James. From what I have read, Mr. Kirk was a better person than Mr. Howard. But like Jesse, Mr. Kirk leaves a wife and children to mourn for him. They are the real victims with us today. And for me, that sentiment from that old song holds. The person who shot Mr. Kirk was a coward. I guess his reasons will be important to those to whom they need to be important, but they will not be important to me. This shooter will simply be like Robert Ford and Lee Oswald and Sirhan Sirhan and James Ray, a coward. And not worth a spit. I don't want to spend any time on such a cur. An unfriendly and hostile mongrel dog. I don't want to give his act any credence or value by labeling him as radical left or radical right. I'm just glad the police have found him. And I hope they ensure he can never hurt anyone else ever again. Ever. Oh well.